Hey guys, here we are with chapter 2. Lots of linear stuff on this one. Number 1, finding the slope from 2 points. The formula off the formula chart is that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so remember you just label x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to say, okay, y2 is 7 minus 5. x2 is negative 1 minus negative 4. And then I can do this by hand pretty easily. 7 minus 5 is 2. 1 plus 4, negative 1 plus 4 is 3. And so the answer is positive 2/3. So that formula is on the formula chart. Number 2, which represents the nth term of this sequence. If I'm trying to figure out a formula that works for something, I'm always going to go into a new graph document. Okay, that's where I can add my formulas. I'm going to go ahead and enter all of these. So 22 plus, now the only catch is you have to change the n to an x. It's kind of picky about that. So there's answer choice A. Answer choice B, 38 plus x minus 1 times negative 4. And you do have to be careful about putting in negatives and minuses different on the calculator because it is kind of picky about that. Next answer choice, 22 plus parentheses x minus 1 times negative 4. And the last one, 22x plus 4. Okay, I have all 4 formulas in there. I'm going to go ahead and look at my table, Control T. And here's what you have to remember. When you're talking about the nth term, this would be the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term, and the fifth term. So the first one has to be a 22. Okay, this is my answer choice A right here. F1. 22, we're good. 26, we're good. 30, 34, 38. This one looks like it's a match. So I'm going to go with that. If I look through the others, you're going to see 38, 34, 30. That doesn't match. 22, 18, 14. It's not matching my sequence here. And then the last one, 26, 48, 70. The only one that's giving me the right values is F. So that is my answer choice. Okay? Number 3, we're graphing a function. It's just writing a formula. So please remember y equals mx plus b. Okay? My y-intercept back here is positive 2. So that's why all of these have a positive 2 in them. And then the slope, I'm just going to use my x-intercept and my y-intercept. It's a negative because it's dropping. And I'm going down 2 over 2. So negative 2 over 2 simplifies really to negative 1. So negative 1x plus 2. So my answer is D. Okay. Number 4, which graph shows a relationship that is not a linear function? Well, when you scan these all at first, you're like, well, they're all lines. So they're all linear functions, right? Looks that way. Yeah, they're all lines, but the other key part is the function part. Remember, in order to be a function, it has to match or pass the vertical line test. Passes the vertical line test on F, passes it on G. Remember, it passed the vertical line through. H passes the vertical line test. J does not. So J, while it's linear, is not a function. That's why that is not the answer. Or why it is the answer, why it's not a function. Number 5, what's the solution to this equation? Easiest way to solve a one variable equation on the calculator is I'm going to go ahead and add a new calculator document. And all I have to do is menu, and then remember 3, 1, numerical solve. So it's going to ask n solve. I'm going to enter this equation exactly as it appears. 3/4 x plus 3. The one thing you have to remember is after you have your equation in, you've got to do comma x, okay? And it will tell you, hey, the answer is 16. Could not be simpler, okay? Solving them by hand isn't terrible, but if you're even a little bit unsure, do it on the calculator. Now I say that, but number 6, I'm actually not going to handle that way, okay? Because I'm looking for where the mistake is. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute. Okay, I get 5 minus 15x. That's okay. This side is staying the same. So step 1 is okay. To get from step 1 to step 2, I'm going to move my x's together. So I'm going to add x to both sides. That way they cancel out over here. Well, negative 15x plus 1x, that's going to be negative 14, not negative 16. So there's our mistake right there in step number 2. All right, number 7. What's the equation of the line with a slope of negative 3 that passes through the point 5, negative 4? Well, the first thing I want you to notice, to narrow this down really quickly in some cases, is if it has to have a slope of negative 3, make sure all of these have a slope of negative 3, okay? These all do, so we are safe there. To find the point, there's a couple different ways to do this. The shortcut way is, let's go ahead and do a graph because I'm checking equations. And I'm going to go ahead and go, okay, negative 3x plus 11, negative 3x minus 4, negative 3x minus 19, and negative 3x minus 7. Notice they all have the same slope. That's why they're all parallel. Let's go look at the table. I need the point, whoops, it helps if you do control first, control T. I need the point 5, negative 4. So I'm going to come down here and look at 5. Well, my first one has 5, negative 4. The second one has 5, negative 19, 5, negative 34, 5, negative 22. So the only one that has that 5 paired with a negative 4 like I need it is A. Okay, that's the easiest way. You could use the formula off the formula chart, the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, but the calculator is always a nice option, okay? All right, come back for the second section. That's all for this one.